Josh here with the Adventure Bound project. Today we're gonna be painting the camp kitchen. Get ready for the color reveal. Welcome to a new episode of the Adventure Bound project. We have taken apart the camp kitchen. It's in bits everywhere. What we're doing is priming it for its paint. So we've gone for an exterior interior primer, heavy duty. It's going to seal it. We're going to do 2 coats of the primer, and then what I chose for the actual paint, I will release the color soon, but is en français s'il vous plaît, porch patio floor paint. So it's high durable paint designed for being walked on. This isn't, it is an outdoor paint, but it's not going to withstand the elements all the time. It's just when we pull it out of the camper that it will need to be protected a little bit. So I'm taking it apart for the most part, just to get most of the areas to seal in this wood so it doesn't absorb too much moisture. Again, 2 parts primer, 1 coat of the colored paint for that porch paint. We'll see how it goes. Yeah, I will catch you back up in a second. Color reveal, color reveal, color reveal. This is the color we chose. It's a Burr product. The Whale Gray. Dynasty. Mocky. 1 coat. I'll be doing 2 coats. It's the patio porch paint. I didn't say that right. It's been a long day. Porch and patio floor paint. Nice color. Nice low luster enamel, deep base. It's a really nice color. Priming done, and start of the color reveal. We've gone for this blue-gray steely look. Eventual product looking something similar to this. Beauty. Let's keep this going. I like this, and then we've got some silver trim. It's still wet, but I'm too excited. Imagine silver trim all the way around. This is just 1/16 of an inch, 3/4 L channel. We do that around all the major contact points. Keep it nice and swish. As we piece this back together, keep you all updated. I am trying to, these holes down here, that's going to be for the main drawer slide. It goes through and through again. That will be held inside the camper, and then once this is built, drawer slides on here, drawer system out, then the whole thing will slide outside the camper. Stay tuned. Almost there. Still drying, of course. Really like this color. Let me just remind you what paint we chose to go with. So, it's a low luster enamel, porch and patio and floor paint. So you can throw this down on your deck. It's designed to be walked on and a bit of abused. Fingers, painty fingers. And then the primer that went with it. Anybody read French? Let's go with English. It's a heavy duty high hide sealer and stain blocker. I'm not really worried because it's just plywood, but this was my test piece over here. Testing up the sides, obviously. And then the neighborhood cat decided to come in the other day and walk all over it. So thank you, Olive. But that's all good. But it's got a little bit of shine, but really low. I really like that. And then that will be all over it. But let's try and imagine this with some trim. I really need to know how to get organized, but let's be honest, I've just taken that apart. Anyway. So that's what it'll look like as a trim. That'll look nice and swish all across that. Stand by. So as you can see, this is my second tin. I was gonna go with a blue that looked like this, but when I put it on this piece of wood, it's pretty glossy, and it was a bit too bright for what I wanted. So then I chose this one. And it's a Burr product. The gray. Of course, we have so many more colors to choose from, but no, grays, greens, whatever. I kind of like this one. So if you don't like it, sucks to be you. Switchy switch. First coat, there'll be another coat of this. It's not quite like I missed a bet. It's alright though. Super excited to get this back together, actually. It's gonna be lovely. It's come a long way. If you've been following us, I don't know, we started this 2 years ago. Been really busy. Happy to be getting this going. Second coat for some of these pieces. This is the underside. It's one of the grooves for one of the lights. This is one of those coffee top lids. Routed out for the actual hinges. And then most of these, glad I saw that because I missed it in the painting. But Most of these are just pocket hole screws. Backside of those switches. These are really cool. As long as they stay dry, we're good. Still got the second coat to do on that side, so that's just an example of after the first coat, there's primer underneath it, and then to the second coat, just gives it that dense layer. Hopefully, this is the last time this will be pulled apart. Time to start putting the hardware back on. Can't fully ascend it yet because we're waiting for the long 42-inch drawer slides that'll come out and go through there. But we can start assembling some of it. And second project of the evening. These are the undie bed drawers, and we're just gluing the faces onto those. And then you can imagine it's like a fascia piece, if you will. 3 drawers coming out of this side. So we finished this with some stain. Can't really see it because it's very faint, but most of it's white in the camper, so we'll just accent quite nice. Some fudge projects this evening. Don't even know what time it is, but just cracking on. Alrighty. Back to the hardware install. So this is the right way round. There's it peeking out right there. It's not on the sliders just yet, but there is a platform that sits here. The coffee top lid, one of these coffee top lids, sits in that then pops out. It's looking swisher and swisher by the second. More swish. On to the next. Boom, 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 whoop, boom, 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 boom. Of course, it was more play. Boom, 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 boom. Cocoa beans. Few little areas to touch up here. These lids, now it's painted. are a little bit too snug. So we are gonna have to do some sanding. You can see this here is where I've shut it. I have to do some sanding on these again, which is okay. We'll just have to finish the edges off, but at least we'll be able to see the paint. You see, look at the little scuff marks here. That's from closing it and it's getting tight, so that's okay. It's gonna look great once it's done. Love the color choice. It's all coming well together, that black. And then, just pop a piece of trim. Finished look will be something looking like that. Nice piece of trim. I think that'll look so solid, so swish. I'll do a shot here with the doors closed. Ho ho ho. Imagine that. Trim. Trim. Potentially some trim even on that. That'd look lovely if I could trim that, eh? Separate them. I'll have to figure that out soon. My only worry there, if I did put trim in, is that gap is not a 1/8 gap. It would make this drawer not fully sit in there. But you see what I mean? Didn't quite sit properly with the, I mean, it's stunning. You just imagine. I'll try to do this without knocking everything off. Let's be sensible about this. You know this slides out. Come on, slide for me, baby. Sliders aren't in yet, but imagine that. Trim. Of course, it'll be cut. Sorry, the camera angle there. Looking good. And obviously imagine these are cut. That's gonna look sweet. I think it would look really nice. Obviously that will be done. But if I can figure out a way of getting those done too, it'll look super nice. Maybe even trimming that. The bottom will be trimmed. It would look so cool if that was trimmed out. The ideas rushing through the mind. Pretty cool. And then of course, next shot, coffee tops open. This does have one of these panels to go in. And of course down here in there is another panel, which is the one with the switches, and we'll have the cooktop on. And this little panel is the hatch for that underneath portion, so we can get to the propane and all the electricity. But man, oh man, this will look swish once it's good. Just a few problems with the coffee tops lids there. Not quite fitting as snugly or as smooth as I would like. We can obviously jam them in, but I'm just gonna sand some of those corners heavily, and then they'll fit in nice and clean. It does mean another prime and paint and cover up in those areas, but this enamel seems to be doing well at playing that game, so we will go down that route. So we've done the priming of the adjustments of this drawer set. What I actually did with this one, which sits on this, is I actually flipped the drawer around, which made the latches actually on this side, pulling out that way. It was on this side. It made it really difficult. The edge kept on jamming, so I flipped it and it seems to be working better. They're not perfect, but It is a flaw in my design here. If you decide to make your own, that I decided to try and get the lids inside that box perimeter. That's great and it fits really well, but because these are an arc, when they come down, they seem to catch on all four corners, and especially on these edges. And my knowledge base isn't enough to be able to fix that. My initial reaction was, if you can see the bevel here, the chamfer. Cut that out to try and alleviate that, but actually this edge gets cut too. If you cut too much off this, then you have a giant gap going down here. So I've done the best I can. There's a specific way to open them, but that's okay because I'm not long going to be using it. So we'll keep playing with it. If I was to rebuild this in its entirety, I would use different products. This is 3/4 ply everywhere. That uses extruded aluminium or aluminum for all the North Americans here. And then I'd use thin plywood to put it in between the aluminium. It would make it a lot lighter, but again, first attempt, I don't know what I'm doing. I'm just making it up as I go along. And then this drawer is that top drawer, the second drawer if you've been following along. Comes out on sliders here. And then pushes all the way. Time to put some the blue back on the beast.